Mic is muted. All right, here we go. So I was just saying after yesterday, I got the jitters out. I was really excited about today. I thought we figured out the technology and wow, it just never ends, especially with live. So for those of you who did not drop because of the horrible introduction there, welcome to Goal Fridays. Goal Fridays started because I wanted to have a way to bring people together in a community fashion around goal setting and goal pursuit and achievement. So we just finished our first 6-week cohort. We did a cohort for the first one as an experiment, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. So at Red Current Collective, we've decided to make Friday Goal Fridays. So we're going to focus on setting goals, attaining goals, and getting time to focus on achievement of our own goals here. So part of what we're going to do is, I haven't figured out exactly what time these lives will be because we have the commitment to our Goal Friday community that they've got the 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific hour every week. So we'll figure out another recurring time that we can do these lives, and we'll do the same exercises as a live exercise together. So this isn't a webinar where I'm going to talk at you. This is a co-working opportunity where I'll introduce an exercise, and then you can join for that co-working portion. But first, if you don't know me, I'm Sara Lobkovich. I work with organizations to help increase their impact and results while also improving employee engagement and employee satisfaction. So we get higher performance, but we also see improved employee survey scores on questions like, I know why my work matters, or I know how my work connects to strategy. And then I work with individuals around career fulfillment. My career has been a wacky path. And when I became a coach, my real passion is working with people around their careers. So that's where my individual focus is. And that's part of the focus for the Thinky Doers content brand where we have our podcast. All right, so let's dive into today's exercise. Let's get it right. Almost. The tech is almost right today. So we'll take notes and then it's closer. It's closer right now than it was earlier. All right, so here we go. Welcome, as I said, to Goal Fridays. So gather what you need to externalize your thinking. Paper, pens, Post-its, whiteboard, fresh, clean Word file, or whatever your favorite Canvas app is, because we're going to take notes in that fashion. So whatever lets you think best in terms of externalizing your thinking. And then if you'd like to, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat window. I can't see the comments live. That is one of the pieces that we're still trying to work out. But I will see them afterwards. So I'll get to engage and respond. So if you have any questions, post your questions as we go. And then I'll come back in and see the questions when we wrap up today. The recommended reading for today's topic is The Extended Mind. And this is just kind of a general introduction to why I talk about externalizing your thinking. The Extended Mind, The Power of Thinking Outside the Brain by Annie Murphy Paul. A lot of the people who I work with and who are drawn to my practices are thinkers, strategists, introverts, overthinkers. And a lot of those of us who fit into those categories may need to think externally to put the puzzle pieces together. Same with some folks who have different kinds of neurodivergence. Sometimes we need to think outside the brain. Annie Murphy Paul's book is amazing for validating that for those of us who experience it. So, but let's get into our exercise. And the exercise we're going to do today is, I always forget, we're going to share our rules of play first. So rules of play here: create conditions to do your best thinking. And then this is weird to say on an open live, but questions and comments you might see in the chat, let's keep them confidential because we're talking about goal setting. There's all sorts of stuff that comes up that people might want to ask me or share with the community about that they wouldn't want shared outside of this group. So keep the chat confidential. And then please be kind. This is an affirming and supportive experience. We're focused on goal setting and improvement in a kind and affirming way. And then the focus of my work is on non-toxic goals. So we want to stretch into unknown territory. We want to be experimental. We want to be curious. But we're going to be gentle with our wins and learnings. So we don't think about this when we're setting goals as wins and losses that we're going to beat ourselves up over. We think of it as wins, and when we lose, we have good learnings, important learnings that come out of it. So here, goals are not for toxic productivity, or toxic performativity. We're really getting to the heart of what matters, to your vision and your purpose with the work that we're doing here. All right, with that foundation set, the quarterly learning review process that I'm going to share with you today lets us think about what we've learned before we identify our go forward plans and goals. So before we start creating our goals for Q2, let's reflect on what we've learned so that you can envision your Q2 and beyond, taking into account the learnings from the recent quarter or the recent goal cycle. And the outcome of this quarterly learning review is externalized thinking about what you'll stop, what you'll rework, and what you'll nurture going forward. And that lets you make full use of what you've learned. Any experiments you ran last quarter, you can assess and see going forward. Are they useful? Are they helpful? What did you learn? Any projects that didn't work, you can reconsider. Is this something that we don't need to try again, something we might need to try differently, or something we need to go all in on in some way? So we reflect on what we've learned so we can create a plan or create a vision going forward that really has our eyes crystal clear. We're not just attached to the activities that we plan to do, even if they're not yielding the outcomes we need. And so that's the big part of why it works, because if we don't take the time to reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what might need changing, we might just keep going with plans that aren't working or that aren't yielding the results that we need. I always mention this, but there are a host of cognitive biases or cognitive glitches that keep us attached to the activities that we plan or the projects we plan. So a lot of my work is around interrupting those cognitive biases with objective data on progress and how close we are to objective successfulness. So this is a way that we can check in and say, is what we're doing working, or what do we need to change? So the exercise itself, a lot of people use a start, stop, continue. I don't know why, but start, stop, continue has felt redundant to me. I've never known kind of what to put in the start, continue. Like, it's just never been super clear for me when I've tried to use that particular model. So the model that I like is to think about our learning cycle, whatever our preceding goal cycle was, as if it was a growing season in a garden. And so with that analogy in mind, you can think about the following questions. First, what goes in the burn pile? What didn't work so bad, we're going to light a match and set it on fire and never think about it again? What are you moving away from entirely because it's outdated, it no longer serves you, or it doesn't contribute to your future in any way? Where do you have invasive weeds that just have to go? They're no good for your business, your people. It's that, what are we going to just, even if it's painful, just rip out and set on fire and let burn? And so that's the first column I think about. What am I not going to do again? Which I know is the same as stop, but there's something about thinking about the burn pile that helps me think about it more clearly. Plus, once we've burned it, then it can go in the compost as new resources. So what goes in the compost is the middle question. What did you try that died on the vine or that didn't work, but it's worth maybe trying again a bit differently? What should you keep or continue, but it needs to take some kind of new form or be rethought to be useful? So that's our middle column. And then our third column is, what are your cultivation opportunities? Have you planted seeds that need help to grow? Or when you envision your proverbial garden at the end of this goal cycle, what seeds do you need to plant now for that vision to come to life? And that's the third question we ask. If you downloaded the Q2 reset guide from my website, this form itself is in there in a PDF. I'll share that link in a chat window once we're in our exercise time. But you don't need the worksheet itself. You can just do this on a piece of paper, on a Canvas app. You can take a screenshot and drop it into Canva or Miro or whatever you use as a canvas, if you want to do it that way. But this is the exercise that we'll be doing today. And so with Goal Friday, we get together, we share an exercise, and then we do it as a co-working session. So let me check how we're perfect on time. So we're going to do a 10-minute breakout for this. I'll set a timer. I will have music playing, so it's pretty like chill lo-fi vibes. If you don't want to hear the music, you can put me on mute and then just keep one eye on the timer, because we'll come back together for a quick debrief when the timer goes off. But let me get us going here into our exercise. So do this exercise. We'll come back at the end of the session for a couple minutes of parting words, and then I'll get you on the rest of your Friday to go pursue your goals. So let's get this going. All right, timer's running. I'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Time flies. We've got about 2 minutes left, so get to your kind of finishing thoughts. All right, welcome back from that practice exercise. I hope that was helpful. I hear from folks who we've done this in our no BS OKRs workshop, and I've had people on day one do this and say that was worth the price of admission. I just don't think we take enough time to devote to just sitting down to think and reflect. So exercises like this and co-working like this can help us do that. All right, so I'm going to get you on with the rest of your day because we're just about at time. The couple of opportunities I did want to share with you. I have a No BS OKR cohort with live support that's starting. It's actually already available, but the live support starts on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So No BS OKRs is the most complete way for you to learn how to create objectives and key results easily, efficiently, and focused on actual results. So you can join me since you joined this live with a $100 off coupon code of No BS Live 100. And you can find that I'm promoting it everywhere, so it's easy to find. But if you search for No BS OKRs, you'll find it, or you can go to findrc.co/No BS Reg. My contact information's there on the screen, Sara@redcurrentco.com. If you have questions, I'd love to hear from you. And then 2 other resources I wanted to share. Oh, then if I do that, you can't see the URLs. We've got the OKR Reset Guide. I put the link to that in the chat window on the platforms I could get to chat with. But it's findrc.co/OKR Reset to help you with your quarterly look back and decisions about how to go forward. And then when we published the OKR reset, I felt like I was leaving out people who don't know what OKRs are. So we pulled together a WTF are OKRs guide. It's an excerpt from, it's a 10-page excerpt from the No BS OKRs workbook that will be in pre-release in the next couple weeks. So it will become available to help with your quarterly reset. It's just not quite out yet. It'll be initially available as a download. The full book, but right now you can get an excerpt of WTF or OKRs. It's a basics guide, introduces what objectives and key results are, but then includes some of my most advanced one sheets that are helpful for beginners, but also helpful for expert practitioners. And then if you enjoyed this co-working format, I would love to see you in Goal Fridays. So every Friday, I host a 1-hour co-working session. Some weeks we would have an exercise like this. Other weeks we just get together, I start a timer, you start to work on your goal setting independently or on your goal attainment independently. So you can sign up for the notification list on that at findrc.co/goal Fridays. That is, you don't get marketing with that link. That is a community offering. It's not marketing. So it's something I just wanted to do to get some time with people in a way that it's not about the business. So Goal Friday, we get together, we spend an hour co-working about our goals or our most important, what's most important for us to focus on. 1 hour of co-working every Friday morning. And then we'll do something like this live. I almost have the technology figured out. Thank you for bearing with me today. So once we get the tech worked out, we'll do these more often too, to give people just a little taste of that Goal Fridays experience, but to introduce the power of goal setting for improving career fulfillment, career impact, and just personal joy and satisfaction as well. So we'll be back live soon. And in the meantime, thank you. I always hit the wrong button there. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me this Friday. I hope you have a wonderful, goal-focused Friday today, and I hope to see you again soon. So thanks all.